old-fashioned clubs. Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basements? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in October. Try their brand new caramel apple butter cream cheese or apple coffee cake muffins through their new partnership with local apple orchard, Picnic Hill. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $437 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1004120, $437 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 5,500 dual signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 9/30/2024. See dealer for details.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Inside the Huddle with Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Blackshirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up? Happy Victory Sunday. You know, Harrison, there used to be not used to. There's a thing in the NFL called Victory Monday. And you will see guys play in extreme conditions, whether it's cold or hot. And once you hear a coach say, we got Victory Monday, all of a sudden the energy goes into everybody loves it because the players would get actually another day off. But it's Victory Sunday. I don't know if the players got a day off. I'm sure they got to get treatment, stuff like that. But this is Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. They will take care of all your imaging needs and then set forth a clear and precise game plan to, for me, or at least in my case, help me to get along in this game called life and be somewhat, I wouldn't say pain-free, but what is it, pain deficient? Is that even a saying? I don't know.
Pain deficient? That's a weird way to put it.
Yeah. A little bit less pain.
It makes sense.
A little bit less pain.
Yeah.
And also, you want to give it up to Dr. Razdan. He came in this week and dropped some good knowledge about the stuff that he was doing. They have on October 12th, they have their first breast cancer awareness walk/run, 8:30 at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, starting in the parking lot. So the first one that's starting in the parking lot. They do some really, really good things on and you know, obviously it's breast cancer awareness month, and they do some stuff like that. And they have a new body comp, you know, test for athletes to help them kind of get a better look inside of their body and what they need and how they maybe are deficient in some things to help them to possibly be better athletes. So with that being said, the Huskers win 14-7. It was a tough, hard game, man. I mean, it was a physical. Listen, hey, not Purdue, but Rutgers they was popping.
They were.
The boys in defense they was coming in there with reckless abandon. And I'm gonna tell you what about Rutgers. You know, the one hit on I think it was Nair. They didn't call targeting. I think it was a defenseless player, because here's where I equate that to. If I was on defense and we got a interception and I did a peel back block on a lineman, quarterback or something, they would flag me immediately.
Mm-hmm.
When you're exposed like that and the target area, and I'm a defensive guy, the target area didn't decrease. The intent was knock you out of the game.
Yeah.
And so I was very surprised they didn't call it. But then the one also at the end of the game on the kickoff return for us, when you dive in there going for the shoulder to the head. So they're very well coached. Really good tackling team. Obviously, I think the defense, I always say carried the water. And the analogy of that is that we were always told that who can carry the water without spilling it, and carrying it uphill and through, some different elements and stuff like that. Defense dealt with some adversity. Kyle Monangai, listen here. I'm going to give it up to him. I came in and I remember I was on Big Red Wrap Up. I said he's the best back in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Benning was like, I don't know about that. I said he does more with less.
He's a Minnesota guy, right?
Common guy?
Yeah, isn't he?
I don't know. But if he is, but I know he has Minnesota in him, though.
Yeah.
Here's how I know he has Minnesota in him. You want to know why?
What's it?
That dead leg. Hey, I'm just telling you right now, all jokes aside, the dead leg that you saw on display by that young man is legendary. I'm telling you, he will make you miss in a phone booth, and he runs behind his pads.
Mm-hmm.
The dead leg is serious. It's the most unstoppable move. There's two moves that you need to be effective to get away from guys. You have to perfect the dead leg, when to use it, how to use it, and the different run schemes or different run plays to use it. And then there's a play where it's essentially wide receivers doing dead legs. And I don't know if people. I don't know why they don't really. I know this for the few offensive players that I train, with run after the catch. And I learned this from Charlie Joyner, who obviously is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, who coached the likes of Andre Reed, Eric Mold, Peerless Price, James Lofton, Steve Tasker, all the San Diego Chargers at the time, all their good receivers, Andre Johnson as well. What you do when you catch the ball, like you get a 6-yard stop route, you take 2 or 3 steps going this way, get the dead leg, go up. So the dead leg is the most unstoppable run after the catch or move out there. And my man Kyle Manon guy, the thing was just, listen, he was all that anybody can handle. But then eventually I think Nebraska got used to him and got used to the run schemes and played better. Everybody's like, I know we made a little bit of adjustments there. So big ups to Tony White.
Yeah, we were finally getting our first contact with him behind the line of scrimmage because he's too good. If he's got steam and he breaks through without getting untouched, that's where we.
Well, that's any running back, and I also think that Nebraska started to play better, and
X's and O's just playing better.
But yeah, they made a little bit of adjustment in the fronts and what they were doing, but I think they played better, and I think they tackled better, and. You got to face it. Listen, he's a good back, man.
He had 66 yards in that, or 64 yards in that first drive.
Yeah, well,
after that,
he had the first 3 carries with 36 yards. Yeah. He came out on fire, and then he was laying the truck stick down too. So don't let 5'9", 210 fool you. He was running behind his pads. He's done it to everybody. And so I think that the one thing that I take away from it, that Nebraska started to play better. Did they play their best defensively? No, but I think this is the game, because me and Nick talked about it on the pregame show there at the Kindler, that this needs to be a game that where the defense, when you walk away, and say, you know what, our defense beat their defense. Our defense won this game. And a lot of times when you have these type of games defensively, it's not a total domination. And here's an example, right? So when, I guess one of my signature plays was when I scored against Colorado. Defensively, we kind of started out a little slow, I felt like, to our standard against that Colorado offense. But then eventually we made a play. I was able to make a play, and then then it swung the momentum, and then we finished out the game. Was it a perfect game? Was it a dominating game? When we played Colorado back in 96? No, but it was a must-have game. A game that it's a rivalry game and all that other stuff. But sometimes you need one unit to really pull us, make the plays and close it. And that's what the defense did. And I think that's the difference than, at least this game versus the same type of game last year where the defense closed the deal, right? We played solid and played all the way through, but we were just maybe a step or two away from closing it, a step or two away from making the big play. Well, you go out there after kind of giving up a lucky, touchdown where it tips and goes in, he goes. Well, then, we don't do anything on offense. And you're like, here we go again, right? But it was set up by a great punt by Boom Boom Bushini.
Yeah, right. By the way,
my man survived the guillotine.
The only thing that frustrated me yesterday is come on, we can't just be handing this guy 3 and outs left and right. That was driving me crazy at the end of the game.
But he in shape.
Yeah, man.
He in shape.
I wonder how that lower back's feeling today. He was wincing.
Listen.
And it was just as soon as the offense went out there in the second half, it's like, you got 3 plays, buddy, and you're going to be back in there. That's what it felt like. It was. He
got the camel clutch from back in the day for the Iron Sheik wrestling. His back was broke.
But then he takes off and he launches that cannon. But
I like it though. When you need him to step up, he stepped up.
He's done it.
And that was a great punt. And I think he's a little bit more consistent than he was last year. And I thought he was pretty good. I think once he started to get rhythm last year, he started towards the end of the season. And that's a game-winning play. We talked about it last week, right? We talked about game-winning plays, and it's the same dude.
It is.
Let's get down to it. Just to be honest with you, last week I felt this is my well, first of all, this is what I think and I know because I've been in those situations, but I really felt like his tackle, his tackle led, kind of got the team going.
Yeah, it was right in front of the sideline
against Purdue. I think it was the first play of second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Then it's a game here where, Nebraska had control, but it was kind of like we had control. But then it's like you having to, I know how fans are. You got it in the back of your mind. Well, back when Mike Riley was here, we lost this game. With Scott Frost, we lost this game. Or both, right? I get it. You have scar tissue, right? And then here he comes out there with obviously a compromised back or something. I don't know what it is. I mean, my man, I thought he was dead out there, right?
At first, I mean, that hit was nasty.
It was.
He had the full-on scorpion.
Right.
Where you got your legs.
Yeah, he needs to be on ridiculousness. Yeah, that's the backbreaker right there. He got the guillotine. But then he has the punt, kicks it with enough height and then depth of it to get there. Then it checks. Then the defense goes out there, right? So then it's like, okay, well, here we go. Then, okay, it's kind of one of those things. Stop them on first, second down. We gave it up on fourth down. We were probably just like a hand swipe a little bit too early for Gifford to really end the game. All right, here we go. Do it. Bang, bang, bang. Big game. James sends it home. That's more of it's a bigger victory than, yes, the defense, I feel, got us over the finish line. But I think it also was, a whole team type of victory. The offense obviously got us going, right? And you knew it wasn't going to be easy against Rutgers.
Yeah, their defense is it's a good defense.
You're not going to go up and down. Washington went up and down the field on them, just didn't score. We went up and down the field a couple times, got up 14-0, and then the defense it was able to dig in. And I think it's a really good job by Tony White and staff to make some adjustments up front. But then also I think the players, and I guess it goes both ways. You made a little bit of a sneaky adjustment up front, just changing the way you played it. But then I think it allowed the players to play better. Why is that important? Because it takes a really good coach and coaching staff to see things and say, we need to adjust it to our original game plan. But then also it allowed, look, we saw Nash get in there and get busy. Ty get busy. Judy get busy. Jamari Butler get busy. You had Davis come off there. He got busy. Princewell made a couple plays.
At the end, you had Williams. We'll probably talk about it.
And then the big game James was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get busy. And then then also to give it up to James Williams that there was a run play that he got in there and he learned from Northern Iowa where he got caught kind of trying to dig out, a split zone look. And so I think everybody, especially in that first and second level, started to play better. So then that allowed our safeties to play better. And then guess what? It was even better. It was really good to see Javen Wright go in there. He got in there against Purdue. He was going to be definitely going to be in the rotation as starting linebacker. Probably was going to start, before he got, sick or had a little health issue. Not a little health issue, but had a health issue. And then you saw him 3 plays in a row make impactful tackles. And then also he tackled Kyle Manangai one-on-one with no extra yards after contact, right? So that lets you know, that's a great piece. And then he's able to do some things in kind of the linebacker hybrid coverage, so you don't have to change personnel and he can make up a lot of ground. So then you start to see the depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sierra Wright keeps showing improving. You even saw Charles come in there for Buford when he was kind of, out in his, he lost his way a little bit.
He got in his head a little bit. You saw Matt Rule kind of pull him on the sideline at that point too. On that drive where he was, I don't know. I can't make it. It
was a crucial mistake. It was a crucial mistake on 3rd and 15.
Letting them go fly by like that.
On 3rd and 15? That's like a cardinal no-no.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't do that.
I know.
Yeah.
But it happened. Yeah. There was a few times.
And it was, and then you came back the next one. You got lucky that the dude dropped it.
They were attacking him.
But then he came back. He did. And he came back, and you don't know if he was compromised a little bit or what he was asked to do. And they had some big receivers and stuff like that. But I think, man, it was a tough game. It was a good victory. I think the bye week comes at a great time, because I think it's a good time to self-scout, fundamentally get back to some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you self-scout, you're able to go work on it's all about you during the bye week. Now, granted, you're going to mix in some Indiana. You can really get some depth going, right? Get some younger guys, some good long practice reps. Heck, if you want to talk about, and look, you can think whatever you want about Matt Rule or whatever, where we'll end up with him and all that. But when he says he's developed players and they practice somewhat like what we practice, so you can get guys ready to play, came out, I think, in 2 days that Riley Van Poppel was going to redshirt. He played a lot as a freshman, but really the juice and the squeeze, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then he's kind of been on the shelf for 5 weeks. 5 straight weeks he ain't played, I don't think. And if he did, I didn't see it. Right?
I don't think he did play.
Yeah, well, he was up this week because to stop the run, that's a sneaky adjustment, right? So he goes in the game, makes a crucial stop. He gets in on another tackle. So that lets you know guys aren't just at practice like it's Club Med. You can't take 5 weeks off without game-like situations, without going against good competition to have you at least ready to go in the game. Then Coach Knighton and those guys are on them to still know what they're doing, even though if they're not starting, let alone playing. And so, you're going to give, props there. But then, before we go to break, we got about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we're going to go on the stream because it's London football over there with the NFL. We carry the NFL now. But, offensively, I think the amount of third downs that we had, I'm going to go to the stats here.
I mean, we converted on the big ones, and it just kind of felt like the difference.
The second half, I don't do it. Wasn't
the second half. We weren't converting any of the third downs because it was 3rd and 10 just about.
It was third and medium was not very good. Yeah. We were 3rd and medium all the time. We were 3rd and 6 plus. 3rd and medium to me is 5 plus.
Yeah,
and it was not very efficient. And so our third downs, and it's crazy. We had 19 third down attempts. Now Rutgers had 14, but we had 19 or actually 22 third and fourth down attempts, and we're 10 for 22. So we need to get better, especially on third down, 7 and 19. And so I think from the middle of the third quarter on, we were pretty much stymied.
Yeah, we stalled out completely. I mean, it felt we just couldn't.
And some of it was Rutgers because I think, and then some of it was also obviously us, and then some of it, I'm telling you, it's a learning experience for any quarterback. And Callum McCann he was the same. Is that when you throwing yesterday in the stadium is not like any other wind that you can be accustomed to.
You could see how often they were sailing.
It was swirling, and if you don't practice in it, and if you don't have experience in it, it can kind of throw you off. Here's an analogy. I know, I know people up here are probably just getting up and they're probably not heading to the golf course. There's always a difference. Tiger Woods is like, they asked him one time, Wayne Gretzky asked, hey, what do you adjust, how you swing? And Tiger Woods is like, I hit the ball so good, it just goes right to the wind. When the majority of 99.9% of people that ever picks up the golf club, the wind affects everything. So not only do you have maybe you have your swing path honed in, but when it's windy out there, it messes up your balance. Then if you hit one to the right or left, then you change your stance. Then you're out there doing things that aren't normal. And it's all based on the elements. Then you're seeing things or feeling things that you know. And I think that's what happened to, and I don't know. I'm just only guessing. I don't think Dylan was like scared or anything like that. I don't think it was a.
No, after he threw that pick, first real pick, I will say of the year.
He got. And you know what?
But he came back after that.
Right.
He didn't look scared.
I know the kid good enough. He wasn't scared. Yeah. He wasn't like overly like nervous or shaking his boots. I think it was the first time dealing with this type of elements. And it's different. It's not 20 degrees and cold. This is something that the wind in there yesterday was different. It was affecting the way you could punt, the way you could kick, the way you could throw. It affected both teams.
Well, yeah, we saw that doinker of a field goal. That does not happen without that wind. That was a saving wind right there.
It was going in there, and then a little slice of Roni, San Francisco treat. So I think it was a learning experience for him. And the one thing I would tell you about Dylan and the way that he's raised, he's going to take it on the chin. And he's definitely going to be back at it, and he's probably already at it right now because, he wants to play his best. And it's a great learning experience for him. And these learning experiences for this team, these players, and I guess the coaching staff as well, because they're learning about their team. And they probably learned a lot in the last 3 weeks, I think, disappointing themselves, get going finally against Purdue. Battling out, I think Rutgers is a tougher team than any team that they faced. It's always better to do this after a win, and then they can go into the bye week and really, really focus on Indiana, which is a tall order going to Bloomington.
I thought Northwestern was going to give them a run for their money there.
They did, and then they lost steam.
Yeah,
they lost steam, and so but I was saying they've shown some chink in the armor though, multiple times, and so Nebraska has to get better at Nebraska, and then you got to get better at beating Indiana. That's our kind of Cliff Notes version of the game. We're going to take a quick break, come back. This is Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. When we come back, we'll be on the stream here in about 5 or 6 minutes. Take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check.
Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico!
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant. 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. We'll take care of all your imaging needs, get you a precise plan and detailed plan to alleviate any plan or any pain, and then obviously anything else you need to go forth. And that they have a great team of doctors and advisors that can lead you on a path of recovery. But we got a special guest in here. You got my man on my old linebacker mate, newly crowned. I haven't had you on since you went into the Hall of Fame. I talked to you before, but newly crowned Hall of Famer, T. Farley. Good morning, my young brother.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah. You know, Farley, I was talking about Kyle, my non-guy, about that dead leg he was serving up people yesterday. And we played against some pretty good running backs ourselves. And before we got, dive into some of the defensive stats and, we got some, who won the trenches and give a shout out. Talk about how we used to try to defense a really good running back like that to eliminate him. Remember when we played like a Fred Taylor and guys like that in the Fiesta Bowl, and how important it is as a defense to know everything about everybody, what they're doing, so we can play fast and eliminate big plays.
That comes from studying film, studying the player. What defenses don't know is that when we played, Jay, we studied our running backs. We studied them hard. We knew what they needed, what they was going to try to do. Especially a player like Troy Davis, when we played him, he wanted to get 2,000, but we said you're going to have to get it next week.
Right.
Played against a running back like Byron Hanspart, who was a ordained minister. I hit him one time. He told me, "God bless you." I said, "God ain't out here today, buddy." So
that's not what we said, but we said something like that. That. It was close.
God ain't on the field with you. You know, I mean,
he ain't saving you right now.
He's not gonna save you. But you got to know everything about our offense to have that full steam ahead defense. We did a great job I think Coach McBride did a great job of having us recognize down the distance what hash lines we're on. What's the pass stance or the cadence and things like that. What do they substitute with? So we, basically we was a smart defense.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important to, one thing you pick up on a running back where he's more effective running right or left and what type of runs the offensive coordinator likes to call based on the running back. And they don't even know they're doing it. So that's why you really have to study body types, so you want to know what you're hitting, what type of player you're hitting, right? I mean, I'm straight up. because he's listed at 5'9", 210. He's probably about 5'8", 210, 5'7.5", 210, and that's more like the Troy Davis that we played against. And he used to wear those big old pads, so you had to really get low and start attacking his midsection and obviously in his thighs to get any momentum that he had going. And plus, he had really good quickness, kind of like Troy Davis, where he stuck his foot in the ground and going. Farley, we got this newly cemented segment that we're going to do is the Battle of the Trenches. Who do you think won the Battle of the Trenches between Rutgers and Nebraska yesterday?
I think Nebraska did,
right,
especially on defense. Going to that 4-man down, that 4-man rush really helped his defense out. I think Williams did an excellent job. Offensive wise, I have to say they barely won the trenches.
Right.
I mean, we got to get a running game established,
right.
and a lot of people says it has to start with the running back. I mean, you put 3 different running backs in there, you get the same result yesterday. Right. And was it a big breakout? I think Emmitt Smith had 13 carries for 40-something yards. Dardell had over 50 yards. Ramir had a couple of good runs.
Yeah.
So I think the offensive line is trying to, but they're not opening the holes. The holes are not staying open more than 2 seconds for those guys, and you got to give them a chance to hit the hole and get the running. So I think I'll give Nebraska offense just barely, probably 55 to
45.
Yeah.
I think just overall, I think Nebraska won the trenches.
Yeah.
I think the defense obviously, was a big part of that, but I think it's almost like it was a battle of 2 halves. I think the offensive line won the trenches in the first half. I felt like that's where Dowdell got most of his work going on, and same with Ramir. And then I think defensively, the second half and towards the end of the first half, they started to play better against the run. So then then I think they really, really dominated the trenches, and then they really cemented it by being able to get to the quarterback and affect the quarterback, which allowed them to kind of close out the game. And I think as far as the running backs goes, I bet you if you ask them, I think they probably missed some opportunities on to get some yards. And I'm a big believer. There's always these sneaky yards that lead to big plays. And so if you're running and in the inside-outside zone and you're trying to make a move on a edge player and you make it too wide, it actually makes the tackle easier, especially against a corner, because he's at the line of scrimmage. Now, if I'm coming in a scrape and it's wide, now you're going to really make hay. So knowing that, you got to make sure actually when you make your move, you got to be tighter to the line of scrimmage or the end guy on the offensive side, because you want to get to the second level faster, right? Knowing those things as a running back, and so you turn a 3-yard gain into a 5 or 6 yard gain. Well, then now we're ahead of the chains. Now we're actually not on second and third and medium and long all the time. We're second and third and manageable. That opens up the whole playbook. It affects how they are able to call defensive plays. It allows the offense to dictate what and get better running angles and numbers in the run game. When you're not taking it full advantage of every single play, every single hidden yard that you don't get works against you. Those are the negative hidden yards, but we always talk about the hidden yards in the kicking game and all that. So we have to really change our mindset of it. And I think overall that, Rutgers they weren't going to just let you run on them. I think Nebraska in the first half did enough running, and that's when the passing game was better. I just think in the second half, we just got stuck in the mud, and Rutgers did make some adjustments. But then I think defensively as well, I think they started to play better. They made a couple little adjustments up front, but I think they actually started to play better. And then also we're gonna give a winner or shout out here, Farley, to the oddly player of the game. It's Kirk Karocha or whatever, the offensive coordinator from Rutgers. Thank you very much for not running the ball down there on 4th and 1. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, he's like old boy from the Seattle Seahawks when you got Marshawn Lynch and you didn't run the ball.
Yeah.
So essentially he helped
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he helped the Nebraska win that game by trying to, highlight the quarterback that he brought in from the transfer portal and Colin McCannis. And that's where really I think it's hurt Rutgers yesterday.
Yeah. Better quarterback they would have. I think they would. Yeah.
Well, He's decent. He's still learning.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think he started against us last year at Minnesota. Then he got hurt, and then they kind of like got stuck in the mud. He goes in the portal.
It's also just a really tough day out there.
And it's a tough day to be trying to throw it 30 sometimes when you're actually running the ball effectively. So I'm sure that ride home with him and Greg Schiano was not very probably cordial.
I couldn't believe they backed away from the run as much as they did. I get it wasn't as effective as it was in the first half.
Right.
But what I think he finished with only 19 carries.
Yeah,
compared to what he's been getting in the past. And
right.
it was a close game where you didn't need to start chucking around the field to try to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when you're down 14 and Nebraska starting to make some plays. You know, you had a pick and all this other stuff, and then you know, like, you got to think that Rutgers, you know, they scored their only touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So you're stuck. So you're like, okay, we got to start getting something. And I will tell people this now. There's an old saying, and I didn't believe this until I got to about my fourth or fifth year in the NFL. And I'll never forget this. And Wade Phillips, Ted Cottrell, the head coach and D coordinator, both of them are defensive-minded guys. He's like, we will not lose a game by a team that runs the ball. Like that's like if we don't this continues to run the ball, we won't lose the game. You lose the game by giving up explosive pass plays or busting coverages. And I was like, nah. But when you think about it, it's true because no offensive coordinator is going to stick to running the ball all game long anymore. So, you know, eventually, if you don't bust coverages, they'll condense the game back to you. And that's what really worked out for us. But then also, I think more importantly, we started to play better. I think the one guy, we talked about Brian Buschini, but the one guy that I think actually got the defensive front started was in the first quarter was Judy came in, who hadn't played much, right? And he was kind of a situational pass rusher. He came in and he's been playing more in kind of a big 3-3-5 where they have three big guys up there, and he comes in and he had a tackle for loss. He dove over the kind of like the fullback, tried to kick him out, cut, and made a tackle for loss. What that does is that steadies the waters, right? And it kind of is like, okay, we actually had a good play. And then you came right back and made a couple plays, you know, so forth and so on. But, you know, Farley, as we move on towards Indiana, and I personally think Nebraska defensively matches up the best against Indiana than anybody that Indiana has played because of the 3-3-5 and our flexibility and depth at the second and third level. And then hopefully our pass rush continues to get there. But as we start to go down this season, and the first big goal is obviously becoming bowl eligible, and understanding you're this close as we were last year. Remember, we went 0-4 in the month. What has to be the mindset during the bye week in order to get better and not just get through the bye week?
Practice better.
Right.
You gotta figure out those habits that's slowing you down. You gotta work on everything that's hurting your defense right now, and offense,
right,
and special teams too.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that already. Yeah.
But as a defense, you wanna get better, faster. Yeah. You wanna run better to the ball. You wanna work on some crafts that you needed. I think having that fourth defensive lineman come in yesterday was a big help.
Right.
Period. Because the 3-3-5 is okay, and I like what you said earlier about closing that gap when you come down, because I watched one play when I don't know if it was Ty Robinson or Hutchmaker, but the reason that play got so many yards is that he turned his butt to the outside.
Right. You got to squeeze.
You got to squeeze down and stay level. I mean, and have your body facing, you know, the offense.
Yeah, square pass.
Yeah, but he kind of got in and it kind of, and the linebacker couldn't scrape good on that.
Right.
He left a big hole right there,
yeah.
and that kind of hurt us. But, you know, working on pass drops, working on pass rushes, just getting better for that. I mean, it's going to be a long 2 weeks for these guys. It should be better because this year we're 5-1.
5-1, yeah.
So you can't get cocky, man. That's one thing I got to tell these kids. You can't get cocky.
Yeah.
You can't.
You ain't done nothing yet.
Yeah, you ain't bowl eligible yet.
Yeah.
And then once you get bowl eligible, you want to get better than bowl eligible.
Right. We want to go to a bigger bowl.
Yeah. You don't want to go to the popcorn and tater chip bowl. You want to go.
Yeah, we're trying to get some iPads and stuff. You know,
PlayStation, the PlayStation
bowl. 5. Yeah, we're going to PlayStation 5. We're trying to get gift cards to get the new. You know, Madden when it comes out. You know, and this is special teams, and this I'm glad you came in, man. You know, you were excellent, obviously special teams player, blocking punts and stuff like that. And people was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I went and watched it, and I watched it, and I watched it. I've never been a part of a special teams that got a punt blocked. Now I was been with
Yeah.
Farley, blocked punts and recovered them, and we had a pretty dang good special teams block unit out there and punt return unit as well. Everybody can pump the brakes. I'm going to tell you how they got blocked, and it's a learning lesson for the Gunners, which actually was a veteran player in Ramir. So here's a sneaky thing that happened. I mean, and you got to give Rutgers a ton of credit.
They do this all the time.
They must have saw something, and and here's what they did. And I'm gonna tell you the best punt blocking teams out there, whether it's Virginia Tech back in the day, Nebraska when I played, Rutgers right now. You got Kansas City, when they were really good, or when they had Dante Hall and all those guys, and they were more of a punt return unit, kick return unit. Is this in Philadelphia too when they had Andy Reid up there? They were excellent on special teams because they had John Harbaugh. So you can say the Ravens. So here's what they did. They timed it up perfectly. So they had the regular punt return, punt rush team. And then they timed it. And if you go back and watch it, Greg Schiano told the vice guy, which is out there on our gunner, what time to go in there to go from out there covering the gunner to come on the end of the line of scrimmage. And so it's emergency block, right? And so what happens is when it's so late in the play clock, the gunner actually, you need to pause it, right? And maybe take a delay a game. The gunner has to come in and play on that wing so the numbers add up. Well, the gunner stayed out there, and it was 2-on-1. Now, ideally, I'd probably say, maybe Lindenmeyer probably needs to block the inside guy, but the outside guy would have blocked it. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's almost like in Illinois where I think Bullock took the guy to the flat, the guy in the end zone was open. You take the guy in the end zone, the guy in the flat. So there's no win and play right there. It was an excellent play design. It was phenomenal execution. And the thing that would have stopped that was if you condensed down and shifted down and brought the gunner in motion to maybe kind of block the guy on the end, because it's the numbers thing. The only way Nebraska doesn't get that punt block is if somebody went in there with their eyes closed.
Yeah,
because there was Nebraska didn't have enough numbers.
There's the free man no matter what.
Right, and it was excellent. They timed it up. I mean, impeccable. Where he came in there on the end of the line of scrimmage, and here's also where it reminded me of. I would never forget this. Being on the sidelines when Nebraska played Iowa and Frost was here, and I was down on the south end, and I remember seeing something like this in practice, and I remember telling somebody to say, "Listen, dude, you better block this dude." And I told you this before, and I was like, "You need to block this dude." And he was like, "No, it's the punter's dude." And so what they did was we used to call it emergency punt, red alert, because they coming. Like, don't even worry about covering, block somebody, and your job is done once you hear the punt go, right? And the punter's job is to kick it to the moon and cause a fair catch. They blocked it, momentum. We were beating Iowa by 2-3 scores, I think. They end up coming back and beating us, but Nebraska was able to recover. It's a sneaky thing. So it's not, everybody's like, okay, well, it's the punter, the snapper, and all this other stuff. It was just a great call, and we have to make sure that we're on it. We got to be on it, and you got to be. And I don't know how they run their special teams, so I don't want to overstep my boundary. I know that, like, if I'm the up back, meaning the fullback, and I know the punt formations are different now, where we had an up back that could see everything and control it. You have to have some sort of pause call that guy in, because if not, then you're in trouble because you're outnumbered, right?
Yeah, we're gonna keep seeing it too.
But also, here was sneaky though. Hey, be too aggressive. Hey, and guess what happens? They're trying to do it again. Where they did it again, you got hit with a 30-yard pass. So if as bad as it was, you get it blocked. They took advantage of it, on the second go around. So that's where that pump block came from. And Farley, this, you got to be schemed up right, but then you have guys got to have the right technique to block the punt.
I think Nebraska knew they was coming. They just didn't adjust to it
right.
well. What really concerns me, you got the 3 up guys in the back. One guy is turned kind of facing the punter. Well, he's the inside. He's in the inside.
Yeah, and I guess
he can't see that guy.
Yeah,
on his backside.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that guy. If he would have snapped the ball and looked this way, he'd have found that guy. Instead of having his back towards him, he couldn't see him.
Yeah,
but that's one thing they studied well about this special team, and that was a good play.
Yeah, and I mean it was executed good.
I felt it.
Well, the thing, yeah, because you've been there before, right? And but you know what? You got to tip your cap sometimes. No different than when Dylan threw the pick. You got to tip your cap. You got me. You got.
Yeah.
Really, it's the perfect play for the perfect situation. There's probably you had to be extremely excellent and on point to maybe get that adjustment there. You didn't, and then lucky enough that you're able to, withstand it. And Nebraska special teams did a couple of good things. One, stop the fake field goal that was open, but they're able to get there and rally to it. But then also on the field goal that they missed, the defense got 2 negative plays to make the field goal a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they got enough pass rush or field goal block rush to curtail that. But we're going to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this bad boy since we're on the stream. We'll be quick. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, Advanced Medical Imaging. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What up? We're back. Quick segment, Jay Foreman. Inside the Huddle, Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. I want to thank my man, fellow Hall of Famer, newly crowned Hall of Famer, Terrell Farley, stopping in, dropping some nuggets about defense. What you need to do during the bye week to get better, not get through bye week. And then also the art of blocking punts, and obviously the anatomy of a block punt that went to Nebraska. And you got to tip your cap sometimes. Sometimes you go against players or teams or units that are a little bit better than you on that play, and I think that's a little bit of everything. But the good thing is Nebraska gets to adjust and address it, and most likely it probably won't happen again. We're 5-1. Doesn't need to be perfect, but we're 5-1. We've been 1-5 and thought that we were actually closer when we actually were so far. We've won 5 games now. Repeat, we've won 5 games. Stop complaining. Yes, it's not been perfect. If it was perfect, we'd probably be number 4 or 5 in the nation. So we're working our way up. We beat a ranked team after being ranked and lost to another ranked team. So look, we're doing things that normally hasn't been the norm around here.
Another chance too after this bye,
and then we get to go into the Lions' den. This is a mentality check. It's not a game that maybe people thought that was going to be this big of a game at this point in the season, considering the hype that we had. And obviously they have a new staff and stuff, but you got to give Coach Sig and Indiana great kudos. They're bowl eligible, so let's go get bowl eligible on them. The goal should be after that game, both teams sit at 6-1. And then in 2 weeks, when we have another Inside the Huddle at 8:00 in the morning, right? We'll be, happy that we'll be bowl eligible, and then we'll be saying, well, we'll be able to take people's calls and say, oh, we're going to turn our nose up at a bowl that we hadn't been in since like 2017.
Yeah, you know what? Duke Mayo Bowl, Brother Quest.
Let's go.
I don't give a damn at this point.
I don't care. I'd even go to the New York City Pinstripe Bowl. So, I mean, I think Nebraska has tons of opportunity to finish out the season even better than they originally thought. But we got 2 weeks and we got a bye week to get better, get healthy, get refocused, and get re-energized, just like our fan base will, and then take our show on the road, right, and travel well like the Husker fans should. But with that being said, we're turning it over to my favorite Baltimore Ravens fans are coming up next.
Yeah, they were down there in Baltimore.
Yeah, and
great time.
And they had some Maryland Blue Crabs, so they've passed the test.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't got any beef with them, knowing they just beat the brakes off your Bills?
I do have some. I do have some. Yeah. They had crab cakes and stuff. They softened me up and they beat the brakes off my Bills. But for Jay Foreman, Harrison, this is Inside the Huddle, Advanced Medical Imaging. We'll holler at you next week.